Be quiet. Extra break today. I just want to welcome you guys to Gallie football signing day. Thank you guys for showing up and coming and supporting these 9 guys that are going to walk across this stage and sign football scholarships to go play in college. Again, we appreciate everyone for coming. We appreciate the support always. Being the head coach here at Eau Gallie, it's not easy. So all the support is always needed, whether you're a student, a player, an administrator, a faculty member, or a parent. We really need all of it, and we got it here. And we're truly grateful as a staff, and me personally as the head coach, to have that here at Eau Gallie. It's repetitive. You heard me say it in December, and I say it every single year. This is my state championship. This is my state title. Put all the rings on. This is what I do. This is why I coach high school football. This is why. To see these guys, their emotion, their gratitude, their just overall excitement to move on and go play college ball. It is turning into a repetitive cycle for us. Like I said, this year we have 9. A couple of years ago we had 14. It started to become a trend, and that's what we're about here. It's not about wins and losses or how many yards you have or how many tackles you have. All right, it's about what you're going to do in your life when you leave Eau Gallie. How are you going to be a successful person in society? How are you going to grow up? And we think the best way to do that, if you have the ability and you have the want, is to go play college ball and go get an education. All right, sometimes, you got people that want to go work or go to the military. That's fine too. But us as a football program, if you want to go play college ball and you're serious about it, we're going to find a way. We're going to make it happen. And I personally want to thank my staff. I know a few of y'all are here. Again, it's hard to do what I do with how obsessed I am with it without a good staff around me. I can't, everyone knows about spring where we have coaches all over the sidelines watching us during practice. I don't coach much football. There's not much coaching that happens through Coach Sands. It's these other guys that have your son's classmates. They're the ones that have their hands on things, and I appreciate them more than they can ever imagine. I try to at least acknowledge them every single chance I get because they deserve it. 9 of you guys. 9. So first to the stage, number 5, Robert Stafford. You're not even going to get to sit in the hot seat today. You're not going to get the mic either. Especially after last time. Robert signed in December, signed a football scholarship to attend the University of Miami. Robert Stafford. Next to stage number 56, Jude Tinor. Also Jude, how we like to call him. Jude Tinor signed in December a full football scholarship to attend Georgia State University in Atlanta. So first to the stage, if we get Dashad and his family. So as we like to call him in our program, Shaw, obviously that's his last name, people always give me a hard time because they say I have favorites. It's a thing, right? Coach Sands has favorites, he favors this kid, favors this kid. This kid right here is one of my favorites. He might not know that, but truly one of my favorites. Someone that has been on our program 4 years, someone that went through some struggles as in not seeing the field, whether it was where he was playing or how big he was or just wasn't ready to go. I remember vividly a conversation we had, now it is about 6 months ago, 7 months ago. He came in my office and he was just a little distraught, I would say the word, because he didn't play a lot in our spring game. And he said, "Coach, I want to play offensive line." I'm an offensive lineman. You don't hear that a lot. Like, as an offensive lineman, if one of these skill guys or one of these guys said, "I want to play offensive line," it's just not heard of. So when he said that, I said, "Okay, well, here's what you need to do. You need to live in the weight room. You have to get bigger, and then you'll have a shot. You'll have a shot to play a little bit, and hopefully, you can get you some reps." This student athlete right here, between the time of June to August, incredible transformation. He literally was the first one in the weight room, last one out. He gained 50 pounds? In that time, he gained 50 pounds of good weight, obviously, to play offensive line. His work ethic, his determination, his drive to be great was incredible. And I remember having a conversation with him, or with someone, they're like, "Well, who's going to play offensive line this year?" And I said, "Well, you see that guy in the corner that's still in the weight room? I think he has a chance." Like, "Well, he hasn't really shown nothing in the last 3 years." I said, "You see that guy in the corner right there? He has a chance." And the first day of fall practice, he was in one position. He did not move from that one position all year. And his level of play this season, his again, hard work and determination got him this full football scholarship at Lane College. Division II program at HBCU, that absolutely, he committed in September.
Great school.
Early, this kid had 3 games of playing offensive line, and they took his commitment because that was the type of kid they wanted, because he is shown on film that his film shows with his character, and his film shows with his work ethic. And he deserves this. Again, one of my favorites in my program, usually I like to say jokes and stuff up here while they're up here, and some of y'all will get that. He deserves kudos because of what he did in the past 6 months to get where he is today on this stage. All right, Dashad Shaw is signing a full football scholarship to Lane College, and I'm going to give him the mic here. I know he's a little nervous. He didn't want to go first. But I know out of the group here, he's probably the most prepared out of all of them.
First and foremost, I want to thank God for letting me have this opportunity to play college ball. Second, I want to thank Coach Sims for letting me get the opportunity to play offensive line and be able to go to a college my first year playing. And I want to thank the administration for everything they did. I want to thank my parents for everything they did for me. And shout out to the teammates too.
Number 24, Dillion Cooper. What story should I tell? So Dillion thinks he's one of my favorites, but he's all right, Dillion Cooper. Oh, you're fine. first day I met Dillion. So summer, the first day of summer practice his freshman year, I go up to guidance, and we were getting this big-time transfer from Rockledge. Right, big-time transfer from Rockledge. I'm going to be a senior, looks the part, swelled up. I get a call, like, you got to get to the front office. I'm not going to say who that person was, because I don't know if he's big time. He's my dog, but I don't know if he's big time. But there was this little kid with him, and I thought it was his brother. He looked like maybe he was, I don't know, 12, but he did not stop talking. So I was telling the kid, I was like, we'll get you enrolled, but we got to have your little brother stop. Like, it's going to take some time. He's like, well, I'm coming here too. And I said, okay. He's like, yeah, I'm already enrolled. I was like, are you enrolled here or at Creole? Like, where are you going? Soon to find out he was enrolled at Eau Gallie. I said, okay. So he gets in the weight room, still talking the whole way down, like we were best friends, and I don't know, I just didn't hear the kid stop talking. So we got him started working out, he's still talking, and I think he puked after like the first 10 minutes. I don't know whether he was talking too much or whether the workout, whatever it was, but that kid was puking. I was like, I hope he's not supposed to be at Curlie, he's really supposed to be here. Like, I thought I was in trouble, but it turns out, ends up being one of the better players in my career here at Eau Gallie. It's been a long journey with that one. I remember JV games with all the varsity kids on the sideline cheering him on. He just kind of has that infectious personality that you just can't get away from. I had conversations with all your teachers around here, like, oh, I can't stand that kid. And then a couple weeks later, they're like, I absolutely love him. That's him. That's Dillion. He's a student that people just find ways to like because of your personality. Because when they find out your true character, that it's not just an act, I think people really enjoy you and really admire where you come from and what you accomplished here at Eau Gallie. Had a phenomenal career, played multiple positions for us. Ended up moving him back to safety this year, and he flourished as what we thought he always could do. The thing about Dillion is he just has a natural ability to play football. He's not overly too big, as you can tell. He's not overly fast. He's not overly strong, but he finds a way to be good with whatever it is, whether it's on special teams, on defense, played a little running back, played a little fullback. Whatever it was, he was determined to be one of the best players on the field, and he was. To me, you're truly going to be missed. Again, I have stories for days with you, but we'll keep it there. But just know, coming from me, you're truly going to be missed. I'm really excited for your future. It's rare that you get to go play with a high school teammate in college. It usually just doesn't happen like that. We actually have two groups that are going to go play college ball together, and we'll obviously see all that today. But Dallion's the first one, signed a football scholarship to Graceland University in Iowa to go play for one of his former coaches, Coach Pat Ross, and probably about 20 other of our county student athletes that are in his program right now. We're so excited for him. We know he'll succeed, and we know he'll do things the right way and the way that we taught him as a staff these last 4 years. So Dillion Cooper is going to get the microphone. You ready? He was mad at me that he was going second, but that's all right. So here's Dillion Cooper.
I want to say thank you to everybody that gave me this opportunity, all the coaches and staff, for letting me have this opportunity. And with that being said, I'll continue my times at Graceland University.
Dillion Cooper signed a football scholarship to Graceland University. Now, Cooper, official member of the Graceland University 2023 football signing class. Next to the stage, number 11, Curlie, Spencer, and family. We're finally here, Curlie. So Curlie's recruitment has been, in short terms, insane. For me, for him, for everyone involved. People nowadays in recruiting, they try to use the excuse of the portal. The portal this, high school kids aren't getting recruited because of this, blah, 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 blah. And to be honest, I refuse to believe that. I just don't believe a kid with the talent as Curlie Spencer deserved to have that excuse of, oh, you're not going to go here because of the portal. Just not my style. Most of y'all know me by now. It's just not going to work. So the branches that were shook out in the last probably 2 months has been a stress for not just Curlie, but for everyone, staff involved, because they knew the talent of this student athlete. We got a call, and Coach asked us, hey, can you come up on Monday, which was Martin Luther King Day, to your office to meet? So I was like, okay, I'm supposed to go to Disney with my wife, but let me try to figure this out, because I know I'm going to bless. We go up to the school Monday. Martin Luther King, no one's on campus. We come up with the coaches, have a conversation. You know, we leave the conversation with the unknown. I don't know if this is going to happen. It could just be another one that said they like them, but we're going to go to the portal. So I get a call Monday night. It was Monday night. I get a call from the coach that we met with, and he said, we just left the home visit with the portal kid. And the DC looked at me and he says, I want Curlie Spencer. And the chills, I got to tell the story, I'm getting chills already, that I'm just like, oh. That's what I thought. I was like, oh. So I was like, do I call Curlie? Do I not? Let's kind of settle things down a little bit. I'll talk to him in the morning. So come to find out, we make it work. He goes on his visit last week and falls in love with the school. And is moving on with this story. We'll have something else to say at the end. Yeah, so the opportunity arose. Obviously, Curlie, when he found out they were willing to go on him, and he was like, sign me up, I'm going, let's have signing day, can we go now? He was in tears. I remember standing in the middle of the courtyard. He was just walking in circles. But Curlie's okay, like, we got it all settled, it's all good. But the gratitude he showed after that, the drive he's shown in the last 2 weeks after this happened has been eye-opening to me, and it helps me understand why I work so hard for kids like him and the rest of them. But the excitement, the emotion, all that stuff combined, a kid like him who probably wouldn't leave Brevard County if it wasn't for this, has an opportunity to go to Rhode Island, the University of Rhode Island, to play Division I football on full scholarship. It is a blessing. It really is. We're so excited for his future. We're excited for him to be able to grow and to learn as a man, and all that hard work and sacrifice that he and his parents have come is going to finally pay off when he's up there and playing on Saturdays and on TV and getting all the gear and the free haircuts and the free food and all that stuff. He's going to be really excited. But I'm excited for him. I'm excited for the journey that he's going to go on. And again, we have a little, another one that's going to end up going with him. I talked about the teammates. I'll tell you the story how that ended up working out as well. So Curlie Spencer on the mic.
All I had to start by thanking my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I wouldn't be here without him today, so I put my full faith in God and everything I do, so he never let me down. So I'll start by saying that. Second, I want to thank Coach Sands for putting in tremendous work and effort for not only me, but my other teammates running off the field, making sure we stay in school, we don't talk about work. He's a great coach. I love him. I thank him so much. I want to thank the administration here, thank all the deans, the principal. I want to thank my teachers, my lovely teachers. I know I give them some of y'all embarrassing time. I want to thank my parents for pushing me. They always push me, they always believe in me, and they never stop believing in me, so thank you. Even when I did messed up things in my life, they never stopped loving me. So I want to thank my parents, I want to thank my brothers. And with that being said, I'll be signing to the University of Rhode.
Signing a full scholarship to the University of Rhode Island. Curlie Spencer, official member, Tyler Sheehan. Tyler Sheehan, a true OG of Eau Gallie football. Probably played 6, 7, 8 positions here at Eau Gallie. I'm going to tell this one story because Coach Guy is here. He gives me a hard time about it, and I'm give you credit, because credit where it's due. So we last year we ended up moving a defensive lineman. This was Tyler's junior year. The linebacker. Senior, that's when he was going to play in college, and the coaches just thought it was the right fit. And me as a head coach, I didn't really agree with it. I thought, we would get more production with him with his hand in the dirt, but we did it, and he had an okay year. But again, I just thought he would be more productive as a D-lineman. A year later, Coach Guy calls me. It's probably 2 days before practice in the fall. Coach Guy calls me. He's like, "We got to move Tyler to linebacker." I said, "You're crazy. I'm not doing the same thing. He's a defensive lineman. He was our best defensive lineman last year. It's not happening. I'm not doing it. No, you got to trust me. You know how Coach Guy is. You got to trust me. You got to trust me. We got to move him." I said, "No, not happening. Not going to happen. Put the spring film on. He runs to the ball. He does all this stuff. I'm telling you, he can play linebacker." No, it's not happening. Not happening. Practice starts. I look over to the linebacker group, and there's 4 defensive linemen running with the linebackers. It's like, how the heck did this happen? Like, we discussed this wasn't going to happen. Not just Tyler, but 3 others that thought they were linebackers. Couple days go on. Two of the 3 end up going back to the D linemen because they're not linebackers. And the kid that has the smallest jersey out there, I don't know how he got that practice jersey, was still with the linebackers. I said, "Well, this is the last day. I'm going to let him over there. I need to play him at guard. He's going to help us on offense too. Like, not going to happen." Another day rolls around. He's still with the linebackers. What the heck is going on? No one's listening to me. I don't understand. So I pulled Tyler aside. I think it was after practice. I said, "Tyler, what are we doing? Like, you're a defensive lineman." The coach said I could do both. I said, "He said that, but you haven't been with the defensive line at all. You've only been with the linebackers." And from that day on, I watched him that day in practice. I said, "I'm going to trust Coach Guy." And the season this kid had at middle linebacker, not only being a productive player, but being a leader of our defense, was incredible. He was able to put together a season that is why he's signed the scholarship. There's not many defensive linemen that are 5'9", 200 pounds, but there's a few linebackers that are 5'9", 200 pounds. And I know that he, not just his ability to play in between the lines, but his ability to show his work ethic in the weight room, his ability to lead his teammates, and his ability to do things the right way is going to let this kid succeed at the next level. We're really excited for his future. He's also going to play at Graceland University in Iowa, and he's one, again, a true Eau Gallie OG. Been here 4 years. It's funny to look at his pictures on Focus as this little kid, and now what he's grown up to now with the beard that thinks he knows about the NFL and all this stuff. Still get texts to this day about fantasy football with him. Who should I trade? Who should I not? Obviously, I'm best at fantasy football. That's the way he does it. But and I expect those texts next fall too, while you're suiting up for Graceland. And we're excited for your future. Kyle Sheehan.
I'd like to just thank God for this opportunity to go play college football and live all my dreams. And secondly, I'd like to thank my grandparents. Without them, I wouldn't have anything. I wouldn't have everything. And myself home, all my parents, and they did everything for me as a kid. And I'd like to thank the faculty. They always put up with me. I don't feel bad, I'm sorry. And yeah, we play Graceland. Thank you.
Tyler Sheehan signed a football scholarship to play at Graceland University. Tyler Sheehan, an official member of the Graceland University football coaching. To the stage, number 9, Rico Johnson and family. So there's no surprise why people transfer to Eau Gallie to play football. Like, let's get that clear. There's no surprise. When you transfer from another school to play football, you're coming because you want to go play college football. I'm good with that. Rico came in summer this year because he wanted to go play college football. He came to me, we met after he enrolled and said, Coach, my goal is to go play college football. I said, okay. It's not going to be what you're used to. It's going to be hard, but we'll try to make that happen. Get there, I think it was the second day of practice, and he starts backpedaling. Remember this? He starts backpedaling. And I'm like, oh, man, I don't know about this. I don't know if he's going to be it. And he came to me, and I could tell he was frustrated, so I pulled him to the side, and I said, just stick with us. It's okay. It's not going to be easy, like I said, but it's going to be hard. So he worked and worked and worked and worked and worked and worked. By the first game, we thought he was ready. I think it was the second or third series of that first game, he made a play in our kickoff classic. And I think it was Coach Guy on my ear said, we're like, who was that? And it was Rico. And since that game, we were like, he has to be on the field somewhere. So we put him on kickoff. First couple of games, because our whole basically defense was back. After the first game, we had an injury, and we had 3 really, really good players at his position. Only 2 of them could play. One being Dillion. And we're like, what do we do? And I came to the defensive coaches, and I said, well, our 3 best players right now play the same position. Somehow, some way, those 3 need to be on the field. So we said, okay, and all I could think about was that backpedal after that second day, and I said, well, Rico can't go to safety, we know that. So we ended up moving Dillion back, and Rico played, and obviously the season he had was awesome. One of the most disruptive players we had in our program this year at the line of scrimmage. Always seemed to make a play. He probably dropped 8 interceptions this year. But again, he always seemed to be around the football at all times. His ability to quietly just make an impact, not just on the field, but to his teammates as well, was eye-opening for me as a head coach. I know his goal, again, was to play college football, and he has that opportunity now, going to play Division II football at Livingstone University in North Carolina. We're so excited for his future. We're so excited for him to grow as a man, grow as a student, and grow as a productive person in society. I couldn't be more proud of you. I'm glad you stuck with it after that second day of backpedaling. And I just hope you continue to have that smile on your face. You might not say much, but I know how you feel always, because once I get that smile right there that you're doing, and everyone knows kind of what I'm talking about, that knows Rico, you know he's in a good place. So I'm pretty excited for this speech, because Rico did not talk much. but I know he's going to do well. So Rico Johnson.
First and foremost, I want to thank God for allowing me to play the sport of football and being here today. And then second, I want to thank my parents. Since Teresa on the side of me, she's been here throughout my whole life, helping me. And I want to thank Coach Sam for giving me the opportunity to play for him and trusting me. I want to thank my teammates for always pushing me, helping me be the best I can be. And the faculty of Eau Gallie, and therefore I'll be playing at Livingstone College.
Rico Johnson playing the scholarship to play football at Livingstone College. Rico Johnson, official member of the Livingstone College 2023. Coming to the stage, number 3, Rejonn, Blackmon and family. The one thing that, since Rejonn's been here, that I can think of is the word tough. Tough. Mentally tough, physically tough. It comes with, obviously, he's not the biggest of the bunch, but you put that kid in with anyone. You could put him against Robert Stafford. You could put him against anyone. He's going to compete. Biggest guy in the world, he's going to step on his toes and compete. He has shown growth through his 4 years here at Eau Gallie, more than probably I've ever seen in my career, from a kid that kind of did things his way to a kid that now listens and is coachable and does things the right way on and off the field. I'm so excited that he has the ability to go play ball somewhere. I'm excited that he's able to show the growth that he's had since his freshman year to now. I think he deserves it. I think his parents did a phenomenal job raising him, and he's an unbelievable young man. He deserves everything he gets through life. I think he's going to be an awesome person in this world. I just think the world of him, and I know he sometimes doesn't think it because I get on his butt. That's because I love you, and I when I stop getting on you, guys can attest to this. That means there's an issue. But I'm so excited for your future. I'm excited for your time to be with your teammates and someone that you know. And he's going to play football at Graceland University with Dillion and Tyler. When Coach Ross got the job at Graceland, again, he coached with us a couple of years back, he put out a motto. And it's all over social media right when he got the job. And it's only the tough. Only the tough. Only the tough. You've probably seen it 5,000 times now. It's probably on his letter of intent, to be honest. And when he took the job, he called me and he said, you know, this is kind of a rebuilding program, but we're going to get it done in a couple of years. But we want guys that are tough. Guys like Rejonn, you know? And I was like, yeah, I do know. Those are the types of football players you want in your program. Guys that are tough. Guys that are not going to be scared of competition. And when he said that, it was, in my head, I was like, he's going to end up with Rejonn. Because he wants tough players. And again, I mentioned this earlier. There's not many more tough than Rejonn mentally, especially on the field. And again, we're excited for your opportunity to play ball. We're excited for you to go off and grow and to be with your teammates, a couple of your former teammates as well. But the opportunity's there, and we hope you take it with full stride and use that speed of yours and take it and run away and get your degree. So, Rejonn Blackmon.
So first off, I'd like to thank God for everything He did for me. I'd like to thank my teammates, Coach coaches, from Coach Lustig to Coach Sands to Coach Curlie, Coach Miller, even though he's not here, and my position coaches, Coach Guy and Coach Hall. Then I'd like to thank my parents, the love and care my mom gives to me. You know, my dad, he gave me out of anything because he worked here.
He gives some love and care too.
Then I like to thank my brother. You know, every like the way I get better, the way I grow is probably from being with him all the time. And then I like thank my little sister. She just be there though. And you know.
Rejonn Blackmon signed a football scholarship to Graceland University. Rejonn Blackmon, official member of the 2023 Last but not least, 0 Alvarez Baker. Before we start, I gotta give one up. So Alvarez came to us before his junior year, and coming from a private school, and one of the kids came to me and said, you know, we have this kid coming from MCC. I said, okay. He said, you know, his name's Stanka Baker. Stanka, like S-T-A-N-K-A? What is it? So I was like, okay. You know, so I told him, I forget who it was, I think it might have been Robert. I was like, just let him know when he's enrolled, I'm never calling him Stanka. It's not going to happen. It just isn't going to be a thing I do. Like, no, I apologize. Probably the third day of him being here, I start calling him Stanka. He's just, I don't know, something about this kid. You know, everyone tells me when they watched our games, they were like, wow, number 0. Wow. That kid, I think Coach Oates told me about 13 times during the year that you got to get to the ball. Whatever it takes, find a way to get that kid the ball. He's different. I said, yeah, you know, you're right, I know, you know, he's very good. The one thing about this kid is his determination to be the best he can be. And there was no hesitation, there was no listen to anyone what they say. He was going to make it happen. I remember having a conversation with him, I think it was after his junior year. And he said, Coach, I'm a Division I football player. I said, I'm going to be honest with you, you're not. And I always tell people the least, because if it happens, more power to them. And I said, being 5'7", 5'6", whatever you are, I don't know, they didn't measure you, whatever you are, whatever it is, it just doesn't happen. But the one thing he always kind of had deep in that back pocket were his grades. He had that 3.6, 3.7, 3.8 GPA. And that was So we went through the process, and it turned into, we love him on film. He's incredible, but how big is he? Well, he's the shoes on. He's about 5'7", 5'8". Okay, but again, he was like, no, I'm a Division I player. I said, okay, it might be a situation where we get to the very end, and it just isn't going to happen. I love you to death. I'll do anything for you. But it just might happen. I remember a conversation I had with him probably about a month ago. And he said, I didn't work this hard in my classes to let this happen. And again, with that 3.5, 3.6, 3.7 GPA, it was in the back pocket. So we get to 2 weeks ago, and signing day is coming up, and he still doesn't really have a home. And a coach came in that was recruiting Curlie. And as most of y'all know, I have great relationships with most of these coaches. And I said, he was like, oh, do you have your 23 class done? And I said, yeah, I just have one kid who's really good, who's one of our best players. But he's just a little short, starting to drop a little bit. He said, well, put him on. And I put him on. I actually left the room. I don't know if you know this, but I left the room because another coach was here. So I left the room, running down the hall. Y'all see me do this. I'm running with the other coach. And I get back, and the coach said, call him. I want to talk to him. So I said, okay. So I call him. He comes up. He goes in the back room with Curlie, because Curlie was already committed to Rhode Island. He starts talking to him. And I'm in with the other coach, and they're all talking, whatever. So the other coach leaves, and I go back in the room where they were, and I could tell there was something with his face that there was more hope. I'm like, oh, this coach isn't going to do this to me. Like, don't tell him something that he wants to hear. He's too good of a kid for that. Like, don't do that. So he starts talking. He said, we got a couple kids on a visit this week. We'll see what happens, but I'm going to try to shake something. I said, okay. I hear it all the time. So he leaves, and I get a text from him probably about 2 hours later, and he says, I think this is going to happen. And I texted him back. I said, don't get your hopes up. And that night, again, really weird how things happen. Coach called me and said, our head coach loves this film, but we don't have a receiver coach, so I don't know. We would have to make room for him. It's just going to be craziness. I don't see it happen. I said, okay. I said, give me a day. I said, okay. So day rolls on. He calls me at the end. He says, actually, it was the next day he calls me and he said, don't tell, he didn't call him Stanko. He still doesn't call him Stanko, but he will. He said, don't tell Alvarez, but I think we might be able to make it work. I said, okay. He said, our head coach's wife is in the hospital right now, and we're supposed to meet about him, but I think we're going to make it work. I said, okay, cool. So, of course, the first thing I do is call him and tell him, because that's the way I do things. I call him and say, hey, it might happen. Like, don't get your hopes up, but just so you know, keep you up to date, it might happen. So the coach said he was supposed to call me at, I don't know if you remember this, he was supposed to call me at 2 o'clock. Doesn't call me. So I go pick up my kids. I'm at cheerleading practice. It's like 7 o'clock. So I text the coach. I was like, hey, any word? And he said, we just got out of the meeting. The surgery went later. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done this late, but we want it. And the chills, I remember driving, I'm almost to my house, and just like the chills through my body, because I know the hope he had, that I kind of was like, don't hope. And he just kept on and kept on and kept on, that hope he had. And he said, I'll call him first. And literally, I stepped in my house, and he calls me in tears, thanking me. What do I do? Like, I don't know what to do. All this stuff. Like, incredible moment of my coaching career. And he doesn't understand how much he deserves it. The hope and the hard work and the classroom and all that stuff is all put together now. And the 5'6" little receiver signed a full scholarship to play football at the University of Rhode Island with his teammate, Curlie. And we're excited for you to not only excel as yourself, but keep Curlie in line and make sure y'all represent us in the right way. So here's Alvarez, Stanko, Baker.
First, I want to say thank God, because right now I want to be right here. I want to thank my mom, everybody that came out. Appreciate y'all. And Eau Gallie, appreciate our teacher for looking out for me and stuff. Y'all already know that's But man, I'm just happy to be here. Thank Eau Gallie, Coach God, for sure. That's really it. Thank y'all for coming.
Scholarship to the University of Rhode Island.
Little baby pig.
Alvarez Baker, official member of the University of Rhode Island.